Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 630 WMAL's Free Speech Forum. Please welcome your moderator, Brian Neiman.
WMAL's Free Speech Forum. It is great to have everybody here, especially on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Washington. We truly appreciate you coming out today. More importantly, we thank you on behalf of everyone at the radio station for listening to 630 WMAL. Because without you and without your support, without you listening, we wouldn't be where we are today. We would probably be 630 WMAL Espanol, and none of us speak Spanish very well. So thank you very much. Before I bring the fellas out, let me just quickly run down what we're going to do today. I'm going to ask them a series of questions, similar to what we do on the Grandy and Andy morning show on Grandy and Andy on the News. I'll present them with some questions of the very serious issues that are facing our country today, as we all know. And then the guys will go back and forth, give their comments, their opinions, and probably go back and forth with each other as well. Then with about 15 minutes to go, about 4 o'clock, we're going to open it up to you for your questions. There are 2 microphones, one right here in the front of me, on my left, your right, another one right there as well. We do ask that you have a question. You don't make any Chuck Schumer-like speeches. Keep it short and sweet as much as you possibly can in the interest of time so everybody can get a question. And then after the event is over, right behind you, the doors behind you, we'll have some food and some adult beverages. I may need a shot during the show, but we'll have that afterwards. And you'll also have a chance to meet all the guys, take some pictures. Fred does have one disclaimer, though. He tells me that he's happy to take pictures today, just he's only going to take cash. No credit cards, no checks. That's from Fred. But without further ado, because I know you didn't come to see me, you came to see the guys, let me first introduce a man who has made troglodyte an everyday word in Washington, D.C. There he is. A man who took a 6-week vacation, as I do air quotes in the air, last year. Chris Plant, ladies and gentlemen. And now a man who has been described to me as having more money than brains, whose goal in life is to make it into the Guinness Book of World Records to drive the largest bus in the world. Please welcome Washington's favorite angry white man, Andy Parks.
Hello, Neiman.
Hello, Andrew.
I think we'll put Fred in the middle.
Yeah, let's put Fred in the middle.
We're going to put Fred here. We're putting Fred in the middle.
Fred's going to be there. And finally, a man who told me he wouldn't show up today unless I introduced him last. A man who has single-handedly kept the show tune industry afloat during the recession. The self-proclaimed franchise. Please welcome Mr. Big Word, the Honorable Frederick Grandy.
Where the hell were all you people when I was running for governor?
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Hey, Fred, look. They're the 53% who pay for everybody else.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Redistribution works both ways, you know.
That's right.
Chris Plant, Fred Grandy, Andy Parks, the three wise men or the three stooges, depending on All right, gentlemen, since we are calling this the free speech forum, my first question to you is, what is freedom, and have we lost any freedom since the presidential election? Mr. Plant, you want to start us off?
What is freedom, and have we lost any freedom since the election of Barack Obama?
Yes.
That was the last part of the,
Yes.
the last part of the question? Freedom is being left alone. Freedom is a non-interventionist government. Freedom is a government that leaves us to our own devices because the government working for us has enough faith in us to let us loose, to give us a lot of leash so that we can do what human beings do. Freedom is a government that has confidence in the individual rather than in the collective and in the government. And freedom is the government staying out of our way. And have we lost, and it's obviously what's made this country as prosperous and as great as it is, and the amazing American century having to do with just leaving us to our own devices and having faith in human beings, in individuals, in humankind. And have we, our freedoms are being eroded all over the place. The more decisions that are taken out of our hands and put in the hands of the government, the less free we are. It's a pretty simple formula, really. The bigger government gets, the smaller the individual gets, and the more decisions they take over, the more of our life, the more areas of our life that they intrude into our lives, the fewer freedoms we have remaining. Our freedoms are being whittled away at. They're also taking more of our money, and they're going to be taking more and more of our money, and that takes away our freedoms as well. Our freedom to spend our money, the money that we've earned, that we've worked our entire lives for. The government, is more and more becoming intrusive, big brothery, making decisions for us. The creeping nanny state. Absolutely, our liberties are being whittled away at. And I should say that I woke up this morning with a big sinus thing. If I sound a little different, it's because I'm doing 3 different cold medicines.
Actually, you sound better.
Thank you.
Got a little buzz on. You sound all right.
Randy, it's the longest I've seen you stay quiet. Would you agree with that? Are we losing our freedoms, Fred?
Well, Mr. Chairman, let me begin by saying I want to associate myself with the remarks of my colleague on the right, or extreme right, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, really.
But with this caveat, we haven't lost these rights, we have surrendered them. We have conspired against ourselves. And the reason that people are moving out into the streets, either via the Tea Party movement or other associations, or listening to us, or going to cable news, or forming these kind of ad hoc protest groups, is because we're waking up to that fact. We are somehow now standing up to saying, hey, all of this license that we have given to government under the guise of legislating the risk out of our lives for greater rewards hasn't worked. It has failed. And we would like to reset the clock back to where we have to be a little bit more responsible for ourselves, a little less dependent on somebody else, and perhaps not quite as prone to the entitlement lifestyle that both Republicans and Democrats have bestowed upon us. I was in Congress in the early 90s when George H.W. Bush was trying to reduce the deficit, trying to get Republicans in Congress to go over this, and trying, although he failed, to keep his no-tax pledge. Well, by the time we actually brought a deficit reduction bill to the floor, there were 2 things in it. Some tax increases, very slight, and some pretty profound cuts in Medicare. The reason that bill never got out of the gate is because Republicans backed off from the Medicare cuts. And let's take this to present day right now. You all know who Paul Ryan is, right? Paul Ryan is a very... Keep your eye on this guy, because I think he is one of the future leaders, I hope, of this country. But to his credit, he is the first guy that has actually written down and taken responsibility for a piece of legislation that does what we all know needs to be done, which is to cut entitlements and put us back on some kind of fiscal sanity, okay? You know how many members of the Republican leadership have signed on to that bill? That's right, 0. We've surrendered those rights. And if it weren't for Andy and Chris and Brian and myself, it'd be a hell of a lot worse.
That's right.